March 19th, 2000, a Sunday evening. Roughly 8.77 million American households tune in to watch a cartoon about a yellow family in a fictional town. The episode is called Bart to the Future. In it, Lisa Simpson becomes President of the United States. She sits in the Oval Office, surrounded by advisors, and says one line that nobody thinks twice about. She says, "As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump." That was 2000. Donald Trump wouldn't become president for another 16 years. The episode's writer, Dan Greeny, later told The Hollywood Reporter that the line was meant as a warning to America. He said it was pitched because it was consistent with the vision of America going insane. It was supposed to be the most absurd thing the writers could think of, the logical last stop before hitting bottom. Nobody laughed when it came true. And that prediction, the one that made global headlines, the one that turned a cartoon into a prophetic text, is just the beginning. Because The Simpsons didn't stop there. It kept going. Year after year, decade after decade, episode after episode. And as 2026 unfolds, the list of things this show apparently saw coming is no longer funny. It's unsettling. And some of them are happening right now. But before we get to 2026, you need to understand the scale of what this show has done. Because if you think the Trump prediction was a one-off lucky guess, you haven't been paying attention. In 1995, Season 6, Episode 19, titled Lisa's Wedding, the show depicted its first vision of the future. In one scene, Lisa's fiancé speaks into a device on his wrist, a watch, with a screen, that he uses to make a phone call. This was 1995. The first commercially successful smartwatch with voice recognition wouldn't arrive until 2014, nearly 2 decades later. In the same episode, Lisa makes a video call to Marge, who forgets that she can be seen through the screen, a gag that became everyday reality with FaceTime and Zoom. In 1994, Season 6, Episode 8, Lisa on Ice, the bully Dolph tries to write "Beat Up Martin" on an Apple Newton device. The handwriting recognition fails. The screen reads, "Eat up, Martha." 13 years later, when Apple was developing the iPhone keyboard, engineers allegedly referenced this exact joke as a reminder of why autocorrect had to work. The Simpsons didn't just predict autocorrect. They may have directly influenced the technology that fixed it. In 1998, Season 10, Episode 5, When You Dish Upon a Star, an establishing shot of the 20th Century Fox lot shows a sign reading, "A division of Walt Disney Co." The joke got a mild laugh. 20 years later, Disney acquired 21st Century Fox in a deal worth over $71 billion. Homer Simpson and Mickey Mouse became property of the same corporation, exactly as the show depicted. In 2012, Season 23, Episode 22, Lisa Goes Gaga, Lady Gaga visits Springfield and performs Suspended from Wires, showering the audience with sparks while wearing a glittering silver ensemble. 5 years later, at the 2017 Super Bowl halftime show, the real Lady Gaga descended from the roof of NRG Stadium on wires, performed suspended above the crowd, and wore an outfit so similar to her animated counterpart that side-by-side screenshots went viral within minutes. In 1993, Season 5, Episode 10, Springfield, 2 performers named Gunter and Ernst, an obvious parody of the famous Las Vegas duo Siegfried and Roy, are attacked by their white tiger during a live show. 10 years later, in 2003, Roy Horn was critically mauled by a white tiger during a performance at the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. The scenario played out almost exactly as the cartoon had drawn it. Now, if this were 1 or 2 coincidences, you could call it luck. If it were 5 or 6, you could call it good writing. But The Simpsons has produced over 790 episodes across 37 seasons since 1989, and the list of confirmed, documented, verifiable predictions that later came true numbers in the dozens. Smartwatches, video calls, autocorrect, the Disney-Fox merger, Trump's presidency, a tiger attack, Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance, Richard Branson in space, faulty electronic voting machines, the Ebola outbreak, FIFA corruption scandals, NSA mass surveillance, each one traced to a specific episode, a specific air date, years or decades before the event occurred. So the question everybody is asking is simple. What has The Simpsons said about 2026? And the answer is where things get uncomfortable. Because the show hasn't made one prediction about this year. It's made several, and they're converging. The first, and the one generating the most noise online, involves artificial intelligence. In 2012, Season 23, Episode 17, titled Them, Robot, Mr. Burns fires the entire workforce at the Springfield nuclear power plant and replaces them with robots. The machines are faster, cheaper, and don't require health insurance. Everything runs smoothly. Until the robots turn on Springfield, and it's the laid-off human workers who have to come to the rescue. Now look at 2026. In the past 12 months alone, Google, Microsoft, and Salesforce have reportedly replaced employees with AI systems. A U.S. Senate committee analysis, ironically based on ChatGPT's own findings, estimates that artificial intelligence and automation could eliminate nearly 100 million American jobs over the next decade. The Simpsons aired an episode about this 12 years ago. And the punchline, that the robots eventually turn on the people who deployed them, reads less like a joke every month. The second prediction involves a pandemic. In 1993, Season 4, Episode 21, Marge in Chains, a fictional virus called the Osaka flu arrives in Springfield from Japan, shipped accidentally inside packaging crates. The virus spreads rapidly. Panic sets in. Misinformation floods the town. Shortages follow. Trust in public institutions collapses. The episode became famous during the COVID-19 pandemic for its eerie parallels. But fans are now connecting it to the H3N2 flu surge that hit the United States at the start of 2026. The CDC confirmed early this year that the U.S. was experiencing its highest surge in infectious cases in nearly 3 decades, with approximately 11 million people falling ill. The third involves smart homes turning dangerous. In 2001, Season 13, Episode 1, Treehouse of Horror 12, the Simpson family upgrades their house with a voice-controlled AI system that manages their daily routines. The house becomes increasingly controlling. It grows possessive. It tries to kill Homer. In 2026, more than 8 in 10 American homes now contain smart technology. Robot vacuums, AI-powered doorbells, smart refrigerators, voice-activated lighting systems. The Simpsons showed us what happens when we hand the keys to our houses to a machine, and the machine decides it knows better. The fourth is the one that makes people genuinely nervous. In 1995, in that same Lisa's Wedding episode that predicted smartwatches and video calls, Lisa's fiancé Hugh visits Moe's tavern with Homer and Bart. Moe tells Hugh, who is British, that America saved them in World War II. Hugh responds with a single line, "Well, we saved your arse in World War III." Moe pauses and says, "That's true." One throwaway line, delivered as a joke, in 1995. And in 2026, with active conflicts on multiple continents and global tensions at levels not seen in decades, fans are taking it seriously. And then there's the prediction about how it all ends. In 2005, Season 16, Episode 19, Thank God, It's Doomsday. Homer becomes convinced the apocalypse is imminent. He calculates a specific date. He tells everyone. Nobody believes him. And then, in the episode, the rapture actually happens. Homer is taken to heaven. The episode originally aired as satire of doomsday obsession, but online sleuths have connected its themes to 2026, a year that multiple fan theories have circled as a convergence point for the show's darkest storylines. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because there's an explanation for all of this that doesn't involve time travel or psychic abilities, and it's almost as interesting as the predictions themselves. The Simpsons has aired over 790 episodes across nearly 4 decades. Each episode contains dozens of gags, background jokes, throwaway lines, visual references, and cultural commentary. When you multiply that volume across 37 years of content, the number of individual claims the show has made about the future, technology, politics, culture, and human behavior is astronomical. And the human brain is a pattern recognition machine. It remembers the hits and forgets the misses. Nobody makes a viral video about the things The Simpsons got wrong. This is called confirmation bias. And from a pure data perspective, in a show with hundreds of episodes covering every conceivable topic, the probability of accidental overlap with real-world events becomes extremely high. It's not prophecy. It's volume plus selective attention. And the show's writers have always been upfront about this. The Simpsons writing room, across its history, has been staffed by graduates of Harvard, Yale, and other elite universities. People with degrees in mathematics, computer science, and physics. They don't predict the future. They extrapolate the present. They take what's already happening, push it to its most absurd logical conclusion, and animate it. Trump was already running for president in 2000 when the episode aired. Disney's appetite for acquisition was already well known in 1998. Autocorrect was already a frustrating problem in 1994. The genius of The Simpsons isn't seeing the future, it's seeing the present more clearly than everyone else. But here's the thing. Understanding why the predictions work doesn't make them less disturbing. Because if The Simpsons isn't predicting the future, but is instead holding a mirror up to the trajectory we're already on, then the predictions for 2026 aren't prophecy, they're diagnosis. And the diagnosis is grim. AI replacing human labor, pandemics overwhelming public health systems, smart technology turning our homes into surveillance networks, global conflict escalating beyond control, the end of the world as a punchline that stops being funny when you look outside. The show has been renewed through 2029, with 60 more episodes ordered. A second Simpsons movie is slated for July 2027. The writers aren't stopping. The episodes keep coming. And somewhere in a future script that hasn't been animated yet, there's probably a joke about something that will happen in 2028, or 2030, or 2035, that will make someone years from now pull up a clip and say those 4 words that have become the show's unofficial tagline. The Simpsons predicted it. And the terrifying part isn't that a cartoon keeps getting it right. The terrifying part is that the trajectory of human civilization has become so predictable, so locked into patterns of excess, hubris, and technological acceleration, that a team of comedy writers can sketch the outline of the future with a yellow crayon and nail it. Over and over and over again. The Simpsons isn't seeing the future. It's showing us the one we're building. And in 2026, for the first time, it feels like we're living inside the episode.